this episode of Toysbackzen. Today I'm going to reveal some of the pickups that I've found in my local flea markets. And I also, at a flea market last weekend, I picked up these Star Trek U.S.S. Enterprise transporter room and the U.S.S. Enterprise bridge. These were made by Playmates in 2009. Apparently they come with figures, but I don't see any figures in the windows here. So I'm hoping, they look to me like they are still sealed, so I'm hoping that the figures are still in there. So first of all, I've had an original 80s Masters of the Universe Castle Grayskull, and over the years I've been just trying to complete it, and I found a seller that had some parts. So I had this gun already, but he had the platform with a broken gun. He also had the training rack, which I was missing too. So he had those bits, and I've also been trying to build this yellow Devastator here, and probably got about $30 into it right now. I bought most of it, what you see here, but I think I had to pick up this vehicle separately, and then I picked up the dump truck from the seller that I bought the Motu stuff from. So I'm almost there. All I need now is a hand and the piece that attaches the legs on. So that's exciting. Hopefully I can find that piece soon. I've typically stopped going to my local thrift stores because most of the time any of the toys and collectibles that they have there is overpriced, broken, incomplete, and really, you have to be really lucky to get in there and find anything good. But I did go to one this week. I was just passing by. I was like, oh, I'll stop in. I haven't been to this one in a while. And I was looking through, and they did have the Masters of the Universe Origins Wind Raider. And it's really cool. It does have the wings, the piece in the front that you can launch, and that works. It's missing the stand, which I don't care about the stand. I'm happy not to have the stand. The stand just plugs in to the bottom there, has all the wheels, but it's in really great condition. I got it for $4. This was in the Toys R Us and in the Walmart that I visited earlier that day, and I think it was like $35 or something crazy like that. So hey, I wasn't going to buy this because I thought it was too big to put into my collection. It's a really big vehicle. I have the original one, but for $4, can't go wrong with that. Okay, so the real reason for this video is to show you these 2009 Playmates playsets that I bought, and I really want to just open them up, see if they're complete. I'm not really sure. It looks like they've been opened and played with maybe. I see some bag stuff in there, so I'm hoping that they're complete. They're supposed to come with some figures. I already have some of these figures. These playsets were made during the time that they released the new Star Trek movies. These were the only two playsets that were made. They made a bunch of figures. The figures came with control consoles and accessories. I do have 2 or 3 of the figures and a bunch of the consoles that came with the figures, and I don't think this comes complete with all that stuff. I'm going to take all this stuff out of the box and we'll check it out and play with it a little bit and see if it works. This is just a one-page instruction, so we can see we have everything here. It is complete, so that's amazing. I paid $25 for both of these play sets. I'm going to put this together. I just want to mention that the bottom of it is like a really thick vinyl plastic, and there's numbers all over it. And I'm assuming that these numbers does say like communications A, communications B. So I'm sure that those are for some of the accessories that come with the figures that come separately, and I'm going to go grab a couple of those and see if that's what they're for, and see if those accessories have these numbers on them. It doesn't seem like it's cheap plastic. It seems really good. I really like the displays that they have here. The clear display, just something that you'd see in the movie. Both of them are a little different. Here's one here. Shows some information, I believe, on the ship that's on display in the back, which is really nice. I really like that. It has a main control panel here. It has a lot of details with the stickers, and it's got this joysticks here. You've got the seats, they do turn. This does move around quite a bit, but I mean, for display, it's going to be awesome. We've got Captain Kirk too. And what I've noticed is he does have a holster for his phaser, but also he's got like a communicator. It's molded in there, but you can see that they actually took the time to paint it silver with a little bit of blue, and that's really cool. These figures are quite cheap. They've got that modern articulation, and they don't really stand. They stand pretty good, but the feet look like they're weird. So, but the nice thing is that unlike the Mego 3 3/4 inch figures from the 80s, their legs do bend and their elbows do bend. So when you're going to put him in the chair, he actually sits in there correctly. So here's the consoles, the computer consoles or the controls that the figures came with, and they do have a number on the bottom. If you can see here, this one is B9, and on here you can see that there's numbers B14, B7. B9 is way over there, so we can put B9 here, I believe. But on the instructions too, it gives you all the numbers and where they belong. So you really have to get all the figures to, I guess this doesn't have a number because it says here, it says the Plexi D. So this is Plexi D, this is B9. Here's another one I got, B10. When I first got these and the figures, I got them in a lot from somebody, I can't remember now who I got them from, but I was like, oh, what, this must come with a playset, but I couldn't figure out what, like, how they, I would just set them up like this side by side. So B10, where's B10? B10 is over here. B4. B4 is over here. This is Plexi C. And B13. So we've got B13, those connect together. So that's cool. So to get this whole thing, you've got to collect the rest of the figures. And I'm not even sure how many figures they came out with this set. Looks to me on the picture they've came at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, about 7 figures, 7 or 8 figures. And there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. There's like 20 things that goes on here. Pretty sure they didn't make 20 figures. I've got some more chairs too. Put a chair there. Put a chair here. I think I'm going to move this over here just so that it makes it more complete. When we look at the box here, you can see it says here, recreate the entire U.S.S. Enterprise bridge by collecting additional pieces inside Galaxy Series figure packs. And you can see all of the extra consoles and stuff. Here's some of the figures that you could get. We've got Spock. We'll get him right here. I'm going to sit Spock down. Probably would have put Spock back here. He's usually behind Captain Kirk. And I think this is the dock. It's got a red shirt instead of blue. So he came probably with one of these consoles too. We'll put him over here. And then I also collect quite a bit of Star Trek stuff. I have a lot of the Playmates stuff. I think they're 5-inch. They will not fit with this playset. This is too small for those figures. But we do have Super 7. So we can put a Super 7 figure in here. We've got the late 80s next generation Galoob figures. So they could fit in here too. We've got the late 70s, early 80s Mego figures. They've only got the 5 POA, but I love that. So we got a couple of those guys. Now they don't sit in the chairs actually they sit in the chairs very well. They just don't, you can't bend their knees. Same with Super 7 and the same with the Galoob. And here I have another Amigo Scotty. He's got the mustache. And we will put him in there. And he will go really good with the transporter. I really love this. It takes up a lot of space, but I have a spot for it. Let's open up the U.S.S. Enterprise Transporter room. Now this one does come with a figure too. We've got a transporter simulation. It does come with the Scotty figure. The playset is compatible with all the Galaxy Collection figures. You can see here includes the transporter room floor plan playmat. Recreate the entire U.S.S. Enterprise transporter room by collecting additional. So this is the same thing. You've got to collect the figures to get the whole playset. That's kind of annoying, actually. Now I'm not sure if it's just saying that because of the bridge, but let's just open this up and see what it looks like. It comes with all of this. It also says here that place the figure inside the tube and press the front button to disappear transport in progress. What else we have? We have relocate. Remove transporter tube from platform and relocate to another world. Press button again to rematerialize. Transport complete. So that's cool. It must be sounds and lights. Dual transport controls. Press Scotty's console control or transporter 2 button to initiate transport sequence. Okay. You require 3 AAA batteries. And they're included. Hopefully those batteries are not leaking in there. Well, let's open her up and find out. It did come with batteries here in the transporter, and the batteries were in there, but they were dead. They were probably stuck in there from the beginning. This was not quite sealed, but everything was still in the bags and it wasn't put together. So somebody must at least tried it out to see if it would work. Let's see what happens here. Here, like that. Maybe press the button here. Oh, we got a light. And there's our sound. Not really sure what these buttons are for here. So apparently you take this out. Oh, there's a button there. Apparently you take this out. That's cool. Apparently that you take this out and you can see, and it's supposed to simulate him disappearing and being transported. You put him on the stand here. Does have a hole for his foot, so he's secure. guess he goes in like this because he's only got one hole in his foot, which is weird. Put that like that. Then this goes in the transporter like this. You click that into place. So as you can see, or as you cannot see him in there because there's kind of a two-way mirror. So you can kind of see him in the background, but not really. So you click that into place here. And the idea is you can press this button. You can press this button to turn on the sounds. You press this button, turn on the transporter sound. And the idea is you push both of these buttons here on the side to pull this out. It takes the figure with it, and then wherever you decide, whatever planet he decides to go on, you let go of the buttons, and then he's supposed to come out. But of course he doesn't come out because he's actually a little too big to come out. His arms kind of get caught on the sides. So this doesn't work very well, but I still think it's a cool display piece, and it's a cool idea. You can see Captain Kirk in there. There's a piece of cardboard in there that has Captain Kirk. I don't think that's supposed to stay in there. I'll probably just pull that out. But then the idea is he lands and then press the button again, and he gets transported to wherever you want him to. Now this is the same as the bridge, where there are pieces. So this piece that I connected to the back here, this is supposed to come back apart, and it goes here, and then with the figures you're supposed to get a piece here, here, and here, which finishes the transporter room and is completely a complete circle. You can see T2, T3, T4, and then the transporter is supposed to go in the back. You take off Scotty's console here, and it goes here, T1, or the controls go here, and then you can see there's a T1, which is another piece that comes with probably another figure, and that gets put there, and then you get the complete place-up. It's pretty big. It's about 2.5 to 3 feet wide, and I think it's an awesome display piece if you are a Star Trek collector. Again, great for your Super 7 Star Treks. It's great for your Mego, for your Galoob, and if you have the Playmate ones too that are 3 3/4 that came out in 2009, that's what it's made for. I was watching a YouTube channel a few months ago. I watch him on a regular basis. He's got a great channel. He shows a lot of really cool vintage figures, and the channel is Super Awesome Geek Show, and he was talking about a collector's book that he found. It's called Action Figure Collector, and I believe it was done in West Germany. It's 1997, so it's anything from the 80s to the 90s, and it's an amazing book. I actually got this on a book website, and I actually purchased it in the UK. Canadian, it cost me, I think it was $10, and that includes shipping. So it was amazing book, and it just shows pretty much all these lines. Some of them were in here that I've never heard of before, so it's a great book for reference for different lines. It's got Star Wars and Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joe and Star Trek and Transformers and Marvel and Wildcats, World Wrestling Federation, X-Men. It's got a lot of things. The only thing that I will say is it doesn't have everything from every line, even though it does show quite a bit of stuff from G.I. Joe. It doesn't have everything, and I'm wondering, because this is from Germany, it was perhaps maybe Germany did not get all of the figures from each toy line that we got in North America. And it also doesn't show all of the figures' accessories, so which is kind of a bummer, because that's the reason why I wanted to kind of get this, is because I wanted to make sure that all the accessories I was getting I had, and that I could complete my figures. And it's not quite detailed enough that you can see everything. It doesn't have all the vehicles and play sets. It's pretty much the figures, but it's still a great book to have in your collection. because it really shows a lot of stuff. And I wanted to thank John from Super Awesome Geek Show letting me know about this and let you know that I found it. He found it in the States somewhere, which is where he's from, but I'm from Canada, and I managed to find it for like, I think it was $10 with shipping from the UK, which is amazing. So really cool book. Action figure collector. I'm really enjoying going through it. Here's the Star Trek ones right here. And here's the Star Trek ones here. The card back here, it shows that these figures were from Mego. So just wanted to show you that. It's a really cool book. Just, it doesn't have everything in there, but it has a lot. Thanks for watching this episode of Toysbackzen. Please like and subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell down below. Thanks for watching. I'm John at Toysbackzen.